just smears or spinach of it. There's spaghetti models and empty rum bottles, and sometimes Louis says hi. Hey, Louis! But you don't get no hurries and don't have no worries, cause we're drunk donkey nationwide. Everybody now, find it. Flies where the page. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. You know it's flies where the page. You know he won't let us all get blown away. Did I ever tell you the story of the drunk donkey? Once upon a time there was this weather woman. You can come as a pilot, you stay kind of quiet, but you know you love watching mice pay. So put your cone head shirt on, watch it live on your phone, and drink drunk donkey beer all day. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. You know it's flies where the page. You know he won't let us all get blown away. Is that Blobby Bobby? I think that's Juicy Jerry. Yeah, Mike, throw a party, man.
All right, good morning. Oh well. What's happening, everybody? We gotta turn some stuff off here. Oh hell, I got another thing playing here. I got all kinds of things playing. All right, well, hey, good morning, world. How's it going? We're messing around with some audio here. Playing around with some things. Hope you're doing good here on Thursday. Got my flower shirt on. My ABC shirt. This is an ABC shirt. See? Look. ABC. See it? maybe. ABC. Doing a commercial today with my good friends at ABC. And sometimes it takes a long time. We do a lot of takes, but we're going to do 3 or 4 different videos. They advertise across the state, and we obviously social media. So I'm looking forward to that. So we're going to start out the first commercial with the Hawaiian theme. I don't know. So I was like, I'll wear my Hawaiian shirt for everybody today. So anyway, we are live, coming to you from Oldsmar. Oh, I don't even have a dog yet. I got to go grab a dog. We were messing around with some things here. It was my favorite shirt on the cruise. I had more compliments on Hawaiian night. So, all right, so let's see. What dog are we going to grab? Hang on a minute. Where's the new one at? Oh, Sarah's got him. Hang on a second. Sarah! Let me see Longo. Longo! Louie, you're next. Come on, Louie. All right. I forgot the dog this morning. There he is. So if you didn't miss it, we did the world debut of Little Longo a couple days ago. And he's now, how long we've had him now, Julie? 3 days? 4 days? We've had him since Sunday.
Today's day 4.
Day 4.
9 weeks old today.
Huh?
9 weeks today.
He's 9 weeks old. And he is a bundle of joy. Right, buddy? You good boy. He is so happy. He loves people. And he likes to take naps. Right, buddy? So, here's Longo, everybody. He's the new guy. Oh, your badge is gone, Loretta. Oh, I'm sorry. That's beyond our control. Yeah, he is a cutie pie. He is wide awake, Mario. Yeah, yesterday, Angie Young, a little bit of rain, July 12th through 19th. Nothing too bad. Shelly, how we sounding? Where's Shelly at? Hey, Brandy. So, yeah, check him out. Look at this guy. He's so curious. So anyway, ABC. So we got some cool thing. I had a meeting yesterday with my good friends at Tampa Bay Brew Company, and we're going to have the release of Spaghetti Model IPA the first part of September, maybe end of August. Yay! The theme is going to be exciting. So I wanted to put Longo on there, but you know what? We are going to do a Hurricane Hunter edition of Spaghetti Model IPA. And we're going to have the plane on the can. A Hurricane Hunter plane, yes. And we're going to have a little medallion looking like a coin almost of Little Hunter. Because he had his own beer twice now. And we're going to have the Hurricane Hunter edition of Spaghetti Model IPA. So it's going to have a really cool Hurricane Hunter airplane vibe with a little bit of Hurricane Hunter on it. So I'm excited about that. You'll be able to get it at ABC. Hopefully won't sell out like last year. We had a huge rush of sales. So anyway, so Port St. Lucie. Yes, we got a little bit of talk about Port St. Lucie here in a little bit. Morning, Peggy. This is the new weather pup, Michelle. Yep, he is the man. He is the man. I think him and Louie are getting along just fine. So, all right, you go play with your brother. That's current satellite, by the way. We're going to say hello for a few minutes. Well, now you want to come back up again? You're just looking at me? But yeah, it'll be cool. I mean, we had a Hurricane Hunter beer 5 years ago when he was a puppy, and the Hurricane Hunters in Lakeland all sent me a picture with the can, and they were all cheers to Hunter. And what better way to have even a cooler looking can from TBBC with the big old Hurricane Hunter airplane on there. So thank you, Tammy. Coco, we're heading that way, I believe. We got some softball coming up. Fort Walton Beach, Catherine. I think that's where my buddy Justin Danger lives. Listen. Morning there, Gus. Fort Lauderdale. What's up? Did the dog sleep with us? Yeah, Mary, Carol. Yeah, they sleep with Julie. The dog sleeps with Louis. Sleeps with Emily. Lynette, Cape Coral had a big storm last night. Yeah, my buddy Eric over on our brew crew was talking about it. We've had a lot of storms across the state. When that heat, anytime it's heat, it's hot. Let me tell you what, it was hot yesterday. You can feel that high pressure heat. And anytime it's hot, man, we get a lot of storms bubbling. Hey, Fred, Fab, and Fold. Did you get any rain from Chantel that way? Jesse, this is my ABC shirt. Doing a commercial today. I'll be... Take 1, take 2, take 3, take 4, take 5. But anyway, a few more hellos. We got some weather to talk about. A little bit of tropics, nothing stressful. Talking about maybe down the road. Hey, look at that, Nova Scotia. Golly, that's pretty awesome. We covered Fiona there a couple years ago for you. It was a bad storm. They don't know if Lee made it that far north, did it? Lee was very powerful storm, but I think it weakened the time I got there. My mom and dad took me up there back in the day. It's all Bay of Fundy. That was memory. I remember we got off the boat. I think we took the auto train, and then we took a ferry ride, and then when we got there, we heard the bagpipes. And I still envision the girl at the gazebo playing bagpipes. What does the blue mean? What's that? You, Lee, what are you talking about? Blue where? Blue is just the radar echoes. One thing cool about WeatherWise app, you can control your echoes basically to where it fine tunes the clutter. So anyway, we're going to Newberry in 2 weeks. Camping. with the puppies. Central Gulf Coast, Eddie, no, but you got a lingering front we're going to talk about here in about a week. So we'll get into that. For sure. All right, a couple things. We had an unbelievable sunset last night. No filters, no editing. I could not believe it. We went to Island Way Grill on the boat with some friends. Haven't got to use the boat in over a month. And we didn't think they were going to have a very nice sunset. And we were cruising back north on the intracoastal waterway. And all of a sudden, man, the sky just lit up. And tell me, you've been here before where you take that first picture and then it gets better. You take another picture, then you take another picture, and then you take another picture. It's like every second that goes by, the sunset's even more magnificent, right? And so I must have deleted 50 pictures before I kept the good one, But just, oh my God, you know what I'm talking about because everybody shared it. So anyway, that was a beautiful night. That was real reflection off the water. I posted that African dust is very heavy right now in the Middle Gulf, Western Gulf, and I almost would guarantee that is part of the dust that is magnified with those particles. And anytime we get African dust, we get beautiful sunsets and sunrises, and that was definitely the case last night. So anyway, crazy. All right, one more thing. I want to thank everybody for watching. Yesterday I was on Fox Weather here with my friend Bob. Looks like I'm going to have a weekly segment. Can you believe that? So tune in. I'll give you the official time for next week, but probably on Wednesdays. But thanks for watching that. Thanks for them for the opportunity to chat and give Mike's Twitter page all that free press and get to share some messaging, hopefully, that helps folks down the road and share some experiences I've had along the way. So there you go. We shared this the other day, the cruise information. We sold more cruises, cabins than ever this early, so it will sell out. If you want to join our 5th annual Mike's Twitter page cruise, we're leaving out of Tampa next June the 6th. Amazing prices. That price includes 2 people. It's not times 2. It's $13.89 for 2 people, not $13.89 times 2. And that includes all your taxes and port charges and everything else. So check it out. Love to have you join our little party, which is really awesome little party. This came out yesterday. I'm going to leave this up while we say a few more hellos. I'd like to thank Julie for picking me up some iced coffee today. Seasonal, yep. African dust is seasonal. It's usually gets starts letting up about this time because the winds start to slow down. And when those winds slow down, we have a little more opportunity for those main development region storms. But this might not be the year of those. And I'm going to talk about that at the end. We're going to talk about hurricanes and stuff like that. So, yeah, we don't want any jellies, Harold. Jellyfish. I remember one time seeing those big old jellyfish. A kid walked up and touched it. Hey, Kindberg, what's up, buddy? So we got a new updated Colorado State University forecast yesterday. That was kind of big news in the weather world, hurricane world. They update their outlooks a couple times through the season. Everybody does. Sometimes it gets a lot of debate online, but that's just what they do, which is fine, honestly, because, if things need to be adjusted, they get adjusted. So they lowered their forecast a little bit. Major hurricanes they've lowered, which is good. Average year, we have 3. They're predicting 3. A little bit above normal, a little bit more above ACE. We haven't really had any ACE yet. That's accumulated cyclone energy. There it says it right there. I thought I was smart because I thought I knew something, but then I saw it's right in front of me. And that does include the 3 we've had. 3, yeah, we've already had 3. Andrea, Barry, and Chantel. People are like, huh? And believe it or not, we're ahead of schedule. We normally don't get the 3rd storm until August the 3rd. So you can say it's a busy season. Unfortunately, Barry had a lot to do with the Texas floods. Almost a similar setup that Helene did. It ran into a kind of a upper level low and just sat there. And I posted the satellite imagery. You could follow Barry from Mexico all the way up to Texas. And then Chantal was just a tropical storm. And it lingered and left lots of flooding there in the Carolinas too. So doesn't take a big bad hurricane to create havoc. People get really wrapped up in the number of storms and Cat 4s and Cat 5s, but believe it or not, the lower, weaker storms are sometimes bigger headlines than the ones that are real headlines, because most of the media doesn't care about a weak tropical system. We're too focused on the wind speed, you know. But there's other impacts. But anyway, there's a new update. We'll see. So still have 13 more to go, apparently, if we go off of this. So, but I'm going to talk about some things in the tropical season at the end here, real quick. So we're not going to be too long. We try to be done by 10 o'clock. So the flooding is sad, Tammy. Yes, it's so sad. Sometimes you just don't know what to say. There was that scene in Forrest Gump when she was throwing the rocks and he didn't know what to say, and then I think he said sometimes there's just not enough rocks. And that's meant to me like you don't know what to say. It's devastating. I don't like to use a lot of adjectives. I'm trying to get away from adjectives, especially when you're talking about future weather, but you could definitely say it was tragic and devastating. Crazy. All right, so there's that. All right, what else I got up here for you to look at? All right, so New Colorado State forecast for the season went down a little bit on the predictions, still predicting above average. There you go. I posted this a couple months back, and I might start doing it again. I like this graphic. It's percentage of precipitation today. Kind of neat. I don't know. Kind of shows you where it's moist. But there you go. Anything in the yellow is about 65% and up. And, the whole eastern seaboard has rain chances today. A little higher South Florida than it is on the west central parts of the state. Upper Gulf get a little more rain chances across Louisiana. That's why y'all have all that water. You get a lot of rain. Mississippi and that too. So it'll be hot and muggy there. But that's your rain forecast for today. Here's long range looking. I want to talk about this real quick. This is the hazard maps. And it is showing heavy rain 7/13, 14, 15. Okay, so that's pretty much a little bit of Georgia, but pretty much Big Bend, all the Florida Peninsula. Hazardous heat extending all the way down into I-4 across the southeast there. So that's kind of what's coming. We know it's hot. It's summer, I know. But we still have some rain. I'm going to talk about this rain chance. Okay, so this 7/13 to 7/14 to 7/15 heavy rain is not a system. This is just going to be a little more increased rains. We got maybe a front line coming down. Just daily rain chances are up a little bit. It's not a washout. So these maps are deceiving to me because it looks like we have a system. Now, if we had a system, it would say the same thing. It would say heavy rain, but you don't know what that means. Daily heavy rains, it's just increased rains that we can see. So I don't see anything until the 17, 18, 19, 20 maybe. We might start to see that lingering front. I'm going to show you all that. That's because we have a little bit in the tropics to talk about. Here's flash flood warnings. These maps are interesting sometimes because you can go back and look at. In fact, if you want to see where they're at, everything I got links on my site. Okay, but if you want to go back and look at history, look at past storm data right here. Boom. Plot past storm data will give you a cool website where you can pick the date, pick the range, pick the event count, severe thunderstorm warning. You can do snow warning, storm surge warning, tornado warnings. You can do watches, advisories. So it's really cool. If you really get bored and you really want to know some numbers, then there you go. But these are your flash flood warnings that we've had since July 1st. Oh man, I screwed up. Oh man, I messed up big time. That's I had to edit. I put 109 events. We had 394 events. Dang it. Not that I'm trying to dramatize anything. It's just oh, Shelly, I got your text here. I turned the volume down. So they've had 394 flood 394 events, not 109. I was looking at the app on the bottom. I thought that was sometimes it says data units count 109. I looked at it wrong. I thought the count number was on the bottom. So crazy. Let me edit this here while everybody talks because I don't. 394. Okay, now I gotta edit Instagram real quick. You can at least edit Instagram pretty good. Okay, let's edit that, and then I gotta edit the Brew Crew. Because I'm sure somebody called me out on it, but that's even more. I thought 109 was a lot. This is all from July 1st. 394. All right, one more edit, and then I'm done. Let me edit, and there we go, 394. All right. 394. That's crazy. Anyway, that's a lot. So think about that. July 1st to now. What is that? Let's average that out. 9. Let's do calculator here. 9 divided by, oh, whatever. You know, it's a lot. So, obviously Texas and the Mid-Atlantic here from Chantel. All right, I got to do one more post here. And there we go. There we go. Yeah, I see that comment. All right. Post. There we go. All right. So now I'll delete it. That one. I got to delete that one. Delete. All right. Now we're officially okay. Man, as many times as you proof things. 39.4. Oh my God. That is, boy, you're smart. Hey, Maria got the number 1. Whatever that means. All right, so that's it. All right, let's see what else I got popped up here. All right. This is a cool little map. This is your 5 days. This goes back to that excessive rain that we're going to get. This looks out 5 days. This is accumulated rains, and then we start looking at 5-day rain totals. So this is 5-day rain totals. Bottom line is you don't see it. This is adding up 5-day rain totals, and basically you can kind of see here 21st, 19, 20, 21 is kind of where we're looking. But as far as actual individual rain, these aren't daily rains. These are 5-day accumulated rains. This goes all the way out to like the 23rd, 24th. So you can see we don't having like flooding rains. So with this front that's coming into play, this is looks like it's going to start out here around the 15th and 16th, and then kind of wiggle its way down towards the Gulf there. But it's just a cool map to see. We don't really have anything popping that's going to be like, because I mean, come on, afternoon thunderstorm, you get an inch of rain. You can't predict where or when anymore. We can't set the clock like we used to. We used to be able to set the clock. And 3 o'clock, here comes the rains. People say that it's hogwash. But we used to set the clocks. Brian, Treasure Coast. Well, just normal. There's no weather systems coming. Early next week, we might have a little more rain. But all right, so let's look at. We're going to talk tropics here in a minute. This is your Storm Prediction Center outlooks. Remember, this whole area is not people are going to get it. This is just the environment. So we have another large area of level 1 marginal risk from Florida Georgia line all the way up through Virginia there today. So we can have some storms popping later today, more afternoon, evening. Middle U.S. again, obviously tornado chances up that way. But that's storms again popping tomorrow. A little bit more. Starts to get out of here though. South Carolina northward tomorrow. Storms will be popping again. Unfortunately, some of the same areas that are flooded from Chantel the next couple days. I don't know what the flood risk is, by the way. I didn't really look at that today. I probably should have posted this. I didn't even think about this. Well, here's today's. Oh, we got a yellow again. So there's some of the same areas that we're dealing with Chantel flood chances. This is excessive rainfall outlook that could lead to flooding, and a lot of this is because the ground's already saturated. So, this water might accumulate because of Chantel. Tomorrow starts to lessen a little bit tomorrow, Friday, and then Saturday a little bit more rains, and then it kind of disappears. Here's Sunday, and see here's that rain starting to set up in Florida. So here's Sunday and Monday. Just increased rain Sunday, Monday. Like I said, it's just more than normal. It's not any system on that. All right, so there's tomorrow, and then on Saturday, there you go. Upper Great Lakes is all that could get some storms. Everybody else kind of calms down a little bit. So calm weather on the weekend for the south and the east. No big storms expected. Let's take a look at the radar today. I got, where did it go? Got the dust map up. We'll look at the radar at the end. I want to talk about tropics before I lose everybody. Tropics. Okay, so this map was posted a couple days ago. And we talk a lot about it, but you might just be seeing about it. So what does this mean? Well, we have a tropical outlook map, and it looks at week 2 and it looks at week 3. And it's saying that July 16th to the 22nd, we could see possibly something try to develop in the Gulf. Okay? No models are really showing it right now. That's the good news, okay? This map, I've learned from my own research, is looking at environmental conditions more than anything at this point, this far out. So we got a lingering front that's going to be coming into play, and lingering fronts over above average water temperatures can produce tropical systems. So that's what we're looking at. God, I know more 16 inches last night, David. Are you kidding me? I can't keep up with these flash flood events. Holy cow. Let's take a look at that. Beep, something just beeped. Man, what is up with these high rain totals, man? So let's look back at 48 hours. Right there. There it is. Bam. That is Winston-Salem. I wish this map had the dang text. It'd be so nice. Greensboro right there's High Point's just south of Winston. See, there's Winston-Salem and Greensboro right there. So, man, a lot of rain right there. Just rain training. I think Radar Scope does it too, though, but it doesn't give you a key. The key's over here. Crazy. All right. So tropics. Okay. So anyway, that's the area we're watching. I posted this morning. Precipitable water map. This is a long range look at July 22nd. And you see a bubble of moisture. That's the Euro. It's predicting lingering front. However, if you look at the European ensembles, there's 51 members of the European ensembles. Basically not showing anything. Like maybe one or two weak low pressure areas. Remember, these are low pressure centers. These are lines. These aren't. Other than just low pressure centers that could become tropical. GFS, which, we don't use very often, but in ensembles you would think they'd be better than the operational run. They are showing some lows. So that's why we have an area to possibly watch 10 days. Curious. Keeping an eye on these ensembles. The reason it's worth talking about, officially, NOAA's got it marked. Officially, we have a weather pattern in place that looks very likely that it could be an area to watch because of his historical lingering fronts get going, and the Gulf's just hotter than usual right now. It's just a simple fact. It's cooler in the Caribbean, but it's warmer in the Gulf. So that's going to be extra fuel. So there you go. We'll watch it. I wanted to show you the precipitable water map here. I think this will pop up. Yep. So this is a cool map. Yellow is pretty juicy. Usually when you have that much, it measures the amount of moisture in the air. So anything around an inch upwards is decent rain chances. So when storm clouds develop and rise and thunderstorms rise, there's a lot of moisture. It can pull into that and create rain and storms. Dry air has no moisture, thus we have no storms. But when there's a lot of moisture in the air, storms have the ability to pop. And unfortunately, we saw that yesterday here with this very high PWatt values across central North Carolina, and that's why we had a lot of rain. And in the past, when you have a lot of PWatt values, you know it's going to rain hard. When you start getting purples, 2.5 inches, that's a lot of moisture. So anyway, here's why it looks like we could. Now we're going to look at this rain pattern down in Florida because they're expecting heavy rain late weekend, early next week. And you can basically just kind of see a lot more red. This is, see right now we don't have much. Well, we do a little bit today, I guess. But there's the Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and next week. See that moisture? This is next Tuesday. You can kind of see that front line setting up. So a lot more red just up in those rain chances the next few days. Up till middle next week right here. Now we get to the time frame where this thing just kind of lingers. There's another front coming into play. And then this is the one that gets tricky. This is around the 21st. And you can just see maybe the Euro's even predicting a little piece of it breaks off and lingers. And, about right there is the 22nd. All with that time frame of maybe something popping. Big maybe. It's hard to guess tropical cyclone formation, let alone anything 10 days out. But that's where we're keep my eye on. Okay, there you go. I things take time. It would have to linger there for a lot of days before it would do anything, but we've seen it happen before. So operational runs, let's take a look at that on Tropical Tidbits real quick, and then we're going to close it out. I need to get my voice ready for the big day today. So here's the GFS. And we'll take a look here. You can pretty much see next week. It's a big old blob of moisture the 22nd. A little bit of low across Texas on the 23rd. Obviously, nothing's developed. This is Sunday, July the 20th. That little piece kind of swings around, and there you go. So, not seeing anything developed at all. We haven't, we are digging. But here's the 21st. Little blob of moisture. Canadian, the 20th there. It only goes out 10 days. So, again, that's a long way to be guessing. And then the euro. So, so we're really stretching here, folks. Anyway, all right. A couple things here real quick. All right, so here's the European color map. That's kind of just shows you the blend of models. And it's very weak when it comes to tropical storm. Depression, maybe. That's a linger. So there's just nothing. Dust, real quick, and then I want to show you one more thing, then we'll be done. Here's the current dust, by the way. We talked about that dust yesterday. Here's some of that dust that I saw with that sunset. We got a big plume currently over Puerto Rico. Anybody in Puerto Rico right now? Anybody in the Virgin Islands right now? Because it is big old dust plume over here right now. And there's the next one. And here comes another one. Now, what I was going to lead into is there's a lot of, here we go, this is all the way to the 20th, so a lot of dust out there. But, a couple things this is showing you is A, the winds are moving to the north a little bit, okay? I haven't looked at the ITCZ line in a while, but I think it's starting to lift a little bit more to the north. It is. See what I'm talking about? Longos, this is like, Louis, you want to come say hi to everybody?
They've been going crazy in here.
They've been playing?
Yes.
Good. Yeah, Longo just had he just bit the side of Louis' lip, and so we were doing that shark feeding, and the little fish that cling on sharks, because they get a lot of leftovers. That looked like Longo just linked. All right, so this ITCZ line that remember when it started the year, it was way down here. Now it's starting to lift up a little bit. So, meaning that sometimes these little waves will have a little more chance to get going because they're now higher up around that 10-degree mark. There's your Cape Verde. So anyway, I was curious, but that's your ITC zone. But, before the early season, we had a lot of winds doing this, and they really never had a chance to do anything. But now we're starting to see the lower winds, and we can get a little spin. Like there's a little spin there. It's lower level spin. Let's look at 850. Yeah, you got a little spin out there. Now it's dry out there. So this is what you do. You look at that. You're like, oh, there's a little spin. We got winds from the south. We actually have a little low pressure right there. Interesting. See, there's your islands. So let's look at moisture. And it's dry. It's incredibly dry out there. So that's why those little systems have a hard time right now. There's just a lot of dry air. So even though we got spinach, we don't have moisture. Now, I want to show you this right here. All right. Then we'll say goodbye. What the heck is this? Well, these are 5 storms that I could think of that I've kind of remember. There's a lot more. Thank you, Tammy. But, morning, Beth from Clearwater. So, all right. So I watch all the big dogs and read all their comments, and there's a lot of theory on tropical formation, and a lot of it comes down to the main development region. That's kind of, I think, where history, most scientists and meteorologists focus a lot on the main development region because most of the memorable storms over the years have come through the Caribbean, eventually pulled to the north, and that's kind of where everybody focuses on, right? Well, these are some storms that avoided the Caribbean. And I just want to throw that out there, that Mother Nature figures out a way sometimes to do her own thing. And this was Nicole, Dorian, Jean, Francis, and Andrew. I just put out there. Those are just 5 that popped. I did this graphic right before we went live. But notice where they all went. They all went in the Bahamas and came across. They missed the Caribbean. So all this talk about a cooler Caribbean now has me thinking we could be seeing something like this, because history has a lot of storms that avoided the Caribbean. And looking at these water temperatures, not trying to hype, but these are 30-year averages. And you can kind of see, I don't know what's going on in Turks still. That's a glitch. But you can see what I'm talking about. Gulf Stream's a little cool. That was a little bit left over from Chantel, but that's still noteworthy. But basically, the waters are warm up this way. So even though we're cooler down here, we'll keep an eye on that. This is your, this heat right here. And the Gulf. So a lot of focus is always down here, but sometimes Mother Nature can trick you and have them come from a different direction. So anyway, I'm not a big dog, Alan. No. Hey, Bobby, how's it going? We're getting some waves. Man, you're getting all. So Bobby's from Carolinas, right? What about these flooding events, man? You had unbelievable floods last night. Here, aren't you? Where are you at? I know you're right around there somewhere, but that's High Point. I think you're Raleigh, right? I don't remember. But anyway, crazy rains last night. Harold, I have not watched Greg. I have not. Jamie, I think they can predict the dust a little easier because that's a fact of the dust is the winds are picking it up. They know by the winds, the lift, rising air. I mean, storms, I think, are fickle because of moisture and sometimes do things they don't expect. I don't know. I mean, upper air patterns and winds and highs and lows are pretty easy, not easy to predict, but are very credible with modeling. I think the end result of storms and moisture and what's really going to fall and how things are going to develop are still very questionable sometimes. But anyway. Raleigh. Mike the Hype, Pumpkin Patch. I love it. All right, so hey, doing some commercials today for ABC, and looking forward to that. We're going to be talking a lot. So we'll sign off. We'll be live tomorrow, Friday. And there you go. Nothing really out there to hype up on tropics yet. Good thing, right? So we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.